What's going on, everybody? This is Phil Ranta. I am live on MobCam, which means I'm live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Mixer, all at the same time. I'm live from the Mob Crush offices. I'm going to try to do this new thing on Friday, just for fun, where I answer some of the social media questions I've gotten over the course of the week. And some of this is from digital creators that I work with during the week. Some of it's from brands. Some of it's from coworkers. A lot of it's from LinkedIn comment sections, and also just kind of the cold calls. For those of you who don't know, my name's Phil Ranta. I've been working in digital content for a little over 10 years now. Started on the creator side. I've worked my way over to the business side. I've worked with thousands of the top creators in the world on YouTube and Twitch. Now I'm over at Mob Crush, where I'm working with live content creators, so mostly gamers on platforms like Twitch and Mixer, but also I'm doing some kind of IRL stuff in between. This is one of our products, MobCam. You can download it at mobcam.live if you want to try it out and go live on all platforms, so it's super fun. I'm going to pull up my comment thread right here, although I can see it on the screen. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. So, but if you have any questions that are pressing about social media, let me know, and I'll see if I can answer on the thread. But for the meantime, I've got kind of 5 of my best questions that was asking me this week, so I'm going to dive right in. So the first question that I got this week was, let's see, somebody on LinkedIn said, I work for a brand. Should I be investing resources into growing a profile on TikTok? So for those of you who don't know, TikTok, it's kind of like the evolution of Musical.ly, and for those of you who don't know, Musical.ly was this app that was started. It's an American startup where kids could jump on and make short-form videos around lip syncing, and it grew a lot of huge stars. Baby Ariel came out of that, and a bunch of other people who are really influential now. But Musical.ly was acquired by a rather large company called ByteDance out of China, who had their own app called TikTok, and TikTok was also doing short form content. They rolled Musical.ly into TikTok, so TikTok had about 500 million users, but most of it was international, and Musical.ly had 100 million users in America, which, I mean, a huge portion of market share, very, very young, but it was crushing. It was just doing amazing numbers. So they rolled those two together, put a lot of money inside of marketing TikTok to America, so now it feels like this all new app that just took off and exploded. And it also kind of allows you to, react to other videos as part of a video, so you can create mashups really easily. And there's like a lot of cool features fixed into it. In terms of if you're a brand, should you be investing into TikTok? It depends on the demographic of the brand. So let's start with the demographic of TikTok, right? It's very international. So a lot of users are, non-English speaking. TikTok, as I said, already had a huge foothold in Asia because it was a Chinese company first. So let's not look at those users as the same as being like a huge English-speaking audience, right? But it does have a large English-speaking audience to have Musical.ly roll into it. But it's very, very young. It's kind of like what Vine was when it first came out. You're looking at, I would say, the average kind of creator that you'd see on there is probably junior high, early high school, like more of that. I mean, you'll find some older creators, but that's kind of where the demographic lies. So if you're a brand like Skittles, or you're a brand like a breakfast cereal or Legos or a toy, yeah, I think that it would be smart to have a TikTok strategy. Another thing I would warn is TikTok can get a little toxic. There's a lot of kind of shade culture happening on TikTok. So if you're somebody who doesn't want to, participate, sorry, I'm just checking to see my viewer count here. There we go. Oh, cool. We've got a couple people watching on Facebook, someone watching on Mob Crush. Hi, everybody. So if you're worried about a little bit of the toxic culture of the internet, there's certain areas you shouldn't go into. For example, if you're the ones that are making reaction mashups, that can get really bad really fast. But if you kind of want to create a sandbox for people to play in, what's really fun is create something that's really easy to communicate back and forth with half the screen, like something that's like a reaction shot, and then encourage your fans to create the other half of the screen, right? So there's ways to do TikTok right so that you're getting people to create on behalf of your brand. In terms of should you be hiring somebody to act as like a host of TikTok, Probably not. It's not the same as Snapchat where you'd want to get somebody to kind of full-time be posting a lot a day. So I would say for 90% of brands, I wouldn't worry about TikTok right now. There's bigger fish to fry. I'd say it's more valuable to put more resources into already established platforms like Facebook and Twitter. But if you're someone who's looking to be really cool and hip with very young people, totally go for it. Hey, Melanie Rance says, hi, Phil. Hi, Mom. I'm doing a thing called 5 Questions where I'm answering social media questions I got over the course of the week. Now you're all caught up. So that's question 1. TikTok, good for the certain brands. So after PewDiePie's controversy this week where he promoted a white supremacist channel, is he canceled? So a couple things to unpack here. One is the idea of canceling. So for those of you who don't know, there's been kind of a series of movements happening. Thank you, Harry. I love the topics too. I'm not shying away from the tough questions. The idea of being canceled. So a lot of creators recently have gotten into controversies where, say, for example, old racist tweets have come up, or they've said bad things, or they've done bad things to people, and everybody will start trending on hashtag that they're canceled, which means that everybody who is, let's say, respectable fans should stop being fans, right? And it kind of comes from, hey, Harry, thank you. Hey, Rafi, thank you. So the idea of being canceled is, I guess, should it be on the audience to stop watching them, right? So what PewDiePie did this week was he's had a lot of people who have put out campaigns to try to keep him as the #1 most subscribed person on YouTube. And there's this channel out of India called T-Series that shows a lot of Bollywood content. It's a big publisher who's quickly catching up to PewDiePie in terms of the largest creators. And on this pace is going to become a more subscribed channel than PewDiePie. So it's kind of become a fun game for other people to say, hey, keep PewDiePie in front of him. Markiplier did a big stream that pushed him up another 300,000 subscribers. So it's become this fun internet game. And as a response, PewDiePie said, hey, I'm going to throw the rope back and I'm going to point out some YouTubers I love to hopefully get them some attention. Well, one of the people that he promoted, and he was promoting, I believe, an anime review video. I didn't actually watch the video he promoted because I don't know anything about anime, not really my cup of tea, and I didn't hear about it until the controversy happened. So apparently the person that he said, hey, this person does cool video essays, and pointed out an anime review video, has also done stuff that has supported white supremacy in the past. So the question is PewDiePie canceled after that? Luckily, with someone like PewDiePie, we've seen case studies on this because he's had a controversy with the anti-Semitic stunt on Fiverr. He has slipped the N-word in a stream. And during those, he really didn't lose significant amounts of fans, nor did they stop coming back. So he lost his YouTube premium show, PewDiePie is Scared. He got booted out of the YouTube's premium ad program. However, somebody with PewDiePie's scale, it would take a lot more than, losing a TV show in order for him to go away. I mean, he is the most subscribed person. He's doing millions of views per video. And I think, frankly, a lot of his fans are the type of people that relish in this controversy a little bit and are quick to forgive, right? So, I mean, we've seen other controversies like this. Logan Paul is bigger than ever, and he had his controversy. Jake Paul is bigger than ever. He had his controversy. The internet moves on really quickly. So is PewDiePie canceled? Not a chance. I mean, he should be watching his brand. And I know that he's kind of a bit of a renegade, and it's not really cool to be careful of your brand. But I think that this should be a learning moment to him, that he's, he needs to be extra careful when it comes to what he's recommending and what he's saying and what he's doing. But of course, it's always easier said than done, because if you're pointing out 25 channels you like, I have a feeling that a lot of them are, he stumbled on this video, saw the video, liked that video, and then didn't do any research. So he is not, in other words, he's not canceled. So question number 3, this is one of my favorite questions that I got this week, and it actually came from a friend of mine who works in optimization over at a multi-channel network. He said, do YouTube tags do anything? So, YouTube tags, when you're uploading video on YouTube, there's this section where you can put tags in, or it can be a single word, it can be a chunk of words together, and you have 500 characters that you can fill in. And the initial idea of tags was it increases discoverability, and if people search that term, they'll be able to find it, or if the AdWords system matches with one of those, then you'll get more specific ads. I've done some experiments with YouTube tags in the past, and what I've seen is that YouTube tags do literally nothing. And this is the way that I've attempted to prove it. So in YouTube tags, I put in a unique strain of 10 numbers and letters that I am very confident that nobody has done before, right? So it would be like 1XC025AC, something like that. Put it in tags, waited for a week so that the search engine can index it, and then tried to search it. And when I did that, it showed up 0 results. So clearly that tag had literally 0 effect to the algorithm in terms of discoverability. Whether or not it works in terms of matching with better ads or matching with other videos to show up as recommended more. I've looked at the tag structures of some of the top channels on YouTube that don't do tags and the ones that do tags, and I've literally not seen a difference. So I think tags are one of those things where if you want to do them, do them. If you don't want to do them, don't do them. It's not going to make or break your channel on tags. What's going to make or break your channel is, are you making good content? Are you deepening fandom within your content? Are you making it consistently so the algorithm knows that you're growing and not a shrinking channel? Stay obsessed with those things. I would even put putting in closed captions above putting in tags. But if you have free time, I still put tags in every video, but part of that is because I'm super anal when it comes to literally filling out every box before I upload it, just in case it gives me that little bit of edge. And it doesn't, filling in 500 tags, I cut and paste most of them. I have standard tags for most channels, or I set most of them to defaults. So Harry said, people treat influencer the same scrutiny as politicians. This is why influencers can get their career destroyed so easily. That's true. This is the funny thing about the difference between politicians and digital stars. This is probably harkening back to the PewDiePie question I just talked about. In a way, now that politicians have kind of become digital media stars, I feel like that's where a lot of the forgiveness of politicians is occurring that wasn't happening in, say, the 90s, right? Where Bill Clinton can get impeached for saying, I did not have sexual relations with an intern, and then it turns out he does. And nowadays, people can have much more credible, much bigger, much more provable things against them, and people slough it off. I think internet controversy has made controversy so disposable that it's leaking into both. But, YouTubers, for the most part, they haven't been canceled unless what they've done is very bad and very provable and affects their fan base. So vloggers, for example, if somebody was proven to be like a male vlogger with a highly female fan base did something awful to women, they're more likely to get canceled than, let's say, a gamer who's known to be edgy doing something offensive. So question number 4, this is one that I've gotten in my career. This is probably one that I've gotten over drinks quietly more than any other question, so this one's fun for me. And again, if you're tuning in, thank you for everybody that's watching. Leave a question below if you have any social media questions that you want to answer this week. I'm going to try to do this every week, so let me know. Question 4, I want to get rich making online videos. I don't care what videos I make. How do I make the most money with the least amount of time possible? It's shocking how oftentimes people ask this. And frankly, it's because, in my time working, I've seen a lot of creators go from 0 to millionaires, and I've seen a lot of millionaire creators go down to 0. And a lot of that just has to do with, are you riding the wave of trends, right? But if you're able to capture on a trend and use that to build a brand, then you can sustain for a long time. So I think the root of this question is, if I want to have content that takes as little time as possible and make as much money as possible, what should I do? So if you're looking to get kind of those mega view channels, almost all of them across the board are kids channels. And when I say kids channels, I mean very, very, very young kids. Thomas the Tank Engine nursery rhymes, the Finger Family, Baby Shark, simple animation stuff. However, a lot of people then say, okay, great. need to make stuff for little kids. Taking animation's expensive, right? Like learning animation, making animation, expensive, annoying. Rafi, thank you for saying you enjoy the format. Tim, thank you for the laugh emoji. So maybe that's not the way to get rich quick. If you want to get rich quick on the internet, I would say try to find a format where you can do it IRL, in real life, very, very few cuts, and make it hyper relevant to children. So, unboxing channels are great, but unboxing channels are kind of played out unless you're doing them with kids. So if you're going to do it yourself and you're an adult, is there a way where you can do something high voice, super clicky, give voices to the action figures? Look at Cookie Swirl C. What she's doing is something that's very efficiently made and can hit a lot of scale. And then just constantly hammer it with content, right? And if you're doing those kind of videos, I always joke around with people, half joking but not really joking, that if I really wanted to, I'm pretty confident that I could quit all of my work right now and then spend 40 hours a week doing nothing but growth hacking and be a millionaire by next year. Naturally, I don't want to do that because I love my job, but that's the way that I would probably do it, right? Harry said, how about teenage content? I'm just curious. This is the tough thing about teenage content. Teenagers have proven now on YouTube that teenagers like to watch teenagers do teenage stuff. So if you're an adult and you want to do teenage content, you have to go cast, like the Fine Brothers do with their, Teens React. It's much, much tougher as, say, a publishing company or an entertainment company. You've kind of got to have more of a BuzzFeed model, and that gets very expensive, time-consuming, lots of hits and misses. If you want to just kind of get that kind of automatic scale, make hyper-relevant content to very young kids. It's super clean with jaunty music and bright colors. Do 100 videos of that, and if none of them have hit yet, you're probably not, you're not doing the right type of content. But Rory said that's fantastic. Thank you. You're pretty fantastic yourself. Rory, I think I saw you walking down the street in Santa Monica the other day by the King's Head. Let me know if that was you. I didn't reach my head out the window and go, hey, Rory, just because I was paranoid that it wasn't you. So that's that. Kids content. That's the get-rich-quick scheme. Naturally, if you have other get-rich-quick schemes, comment below. I'm sure that there's a ton that I'm missing, but that seems to be the easiest one for me. I mean, there's tons, right? When fidget spinners came out, I told everybody, get a bunch of fidget spinners, do a bunch of fidget spinners trick. There was a lot of people that became 100 million view channels based on fidget spinners. If there's an easy trend that's hitting, jump on it hard, fast, and innovate on it. 5 videos a day, become the leader in that, and then try to reformat your brand, and you could probably get rich fast if you're doing it right. If your content's terrible, you always have to do entertainment first. But cool. So Harry says Annie LeBlanc single-handedly created many teenage stars by starting on Chicken Girls. That's true. Bernie Sue says rant to rants. Thank you, Bernie Sue. An Emmy-winning legend of digital media, so that means a lot coming from you. I shouldn't call it Rant is Rants. That's better branding. Thank you, Bernie. I'm totally stealing that. That's awesome. So question number 5. This is one that I feel like a lot of people out of the digital industry ask this when I say that I work with creators. They say, okay, this one is very specific. My 13-year-old daughter says she wants to be a YouTuber for a living. She hears some of YouTube's biggest stars brag about dropping out of high school and college, and it makes me worry. How do I encourage my daughter's dreams but make sure she doesn't ruin her life? This is an amazing question. And I don't know if you saw it. I think The Star did a study last year where they asked high school kids what they want to be when they grow up, and the number one answer was YouTube star. So this is no longer something that can be ignored. This is in my generation, people would say, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a lot of athlete, a lot of actor. Now, the number one thing people say is they want to be a YouTube star. So can't be ignored, shouldn't be ignored. So you should have an answer for this if you're a parent or you're somebody who's around kids. So 13-year-old daughter wants to be a YouTube star. Here's what I tell them, right? Being a YouTuber is not just turning on a camera and talking, right? It's a lot of hard work. There was just something released this week, I think I saw it on TubeFilter, that Ninja, who's the #1 live stream in the world, streams more than 70 hours a week, or has in 2018. So just because you're a millionaire doesn't mean that you get to lean back and play video games for a living. He's streaming 70 hours a week, and then he's also doing brand appearances and blah, blah, blah. His whole life is this, right? So understanding that, I would say YouTubers, it's not just about turning on a camera, right? If you really want to be a YouTuber, here's the things you need to learn. You need to learn work ethic, right? You need to learn how to create videos, how to be entertaining, how to edit videos, how to understand platforms and what makes people popular. All of a sudden it stops feeling like I'm turning on a camera and chatting and starts feeling a lot like work, right? But if they are serious about being a YouTuber, then you're kind of taking this unproductive conversation of, I'm going to drop out of school and I'm going to turn on a camera and I'm going to be rich, and turn it into the productive conversation of, how do I get the necessary skills in order to do this really well, right? So if you have a kid that wants to be a YouTuber, put them in an improv class, right? One thing that's important about being a YouTuber is being fast on your feet and entertaining and being able to create content. Have them go to one of the Adobe Premiere editing classes. Say, hey, it's time to learn how to edit. Have them take an online class about setting up cameras and lighting, right? Have them like shoot short films, right? Or take them to a filmmaking thing, right? Once you start doing that, then they're learning actual hard skills. And it's skills that you need in order to be a YouTuber, right? Or that, you know, not all YouTubers, but in order to be kind of a world-class YouTuber, it's important to have this kind of suite of skills. So it's no longer, I'm dropping out of high school, but now it's, I have to do high school and do that thing, right? Don't let them drop out. But also, I'm going to start doing these other things to take steps and learn how to be good. And then by the time they launch a YouTube channel, if you allow them to launch a YouTube channel, then they might have a chance of like actually hitting, making really good content. And then maybe before you know it, they're 18 years old and they're making $100,000 a month from YouTube. And then, yeah, let them, before they go to college, let them do that for a little while. But in the meantime, then it's something where if they decide that it's not for them, or, you know, frankly, a lot of people who are on YouTube in the early days, they realize how hard it is to make money being a YouTuber and how few people are rich, and they'll churn out eventually. And when they churn out, either they have the skills to be able to be productive, or they're going to end up going and taking an entry-level job somewhere and starting over. And the important thing is to get them in a place where they have enough hard skills where they might say, hey, I might not have the skills to, or I might not be able to be a YouTuber and make a living out of that, but I can go work for a digital marketing agency, and I know enough about the platforms and the creators, I've got the connections, that becomes a really valuable and viable option, right? Let's see, Harry said, being an influencer, 1, get lucky, 2, consistency, 3, knowing the right people. Absolutely true. I would add a 4th, though. I think that this is something that's constantly, people don't talk enough about, which is the content needs to be valuable, right? Even if you look at someone like Logan Paul, that a lot of people are very hard on, if you actually watch his videos, if you are somebody with a short attention span who likes quick hits and loud things and quick like movement and joke every 2 seconds, he's great at that. His energy alone kicks it up a notch. So there's utility to his content. If you're just kind of putting out garbage over and over again and waiting for something to hit the algorithm, you might have a viral hit that happens, but you're not going to be able to sustain a career as a YouTuber. In order to do that, you really need to build deep fandom, and deep fandom comes from content quality, or at least perceived quality to that fan base, right? Harry says, our industry is not the Wild West anymore. Getting famous is much harder unless you have friends that already made it. Just a personal opinion. That is the ultimate shortcut. So people who kind of join crews, and for a while when Vine first hit, there's an apartment building on Hollywood and Vine where a lot of the big Viners moved in together. And the joke that wasn't really a joke is, if you move in that building and start collaborating with them, you become a social media star. And I know a ton of people who moved into there with 0 following whatsoever as a 19-year-old kid. It was an expensive apartment complex too, so you had to it was a risk. And they were able to meet people there, start shooting videos, and now they're huge social media stars, and now they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year doing that. So yeah, knowing people and showing up in their videos is a really quick way to become famous. If you're somebody like me who's middle-aged, that's not an option, right? But still, like, you know, knowing, like, to me, the only real following that matters to me is my LinkedIn following, right? Because, like, it's fun on Facebook to keep up with my friends and family, and on Twitter I'll put up, like, some sort of opinion. It's mostly friends and family on Instagram, but, like, I'm not looking to get big on those. On LinkedIn, I care a ton about it because I'm a business person, and I want people to know that I have industry expertise, and whenever they say, hey, I want to do an influencer branded campaign, I want to be the first person that pops to mind. Or if somebody wants an opinion on companies to invest in, I want to be somebody that pops to mind. So I'm hyper precise when it comes to content on there. And if I could show up in a Gary Vee video that shows up on LinkedIn and he tags me, I would bend over backwards for that. I would love that. That would be huge, and it would change my life. But that's not the same kind of strategy as I'm going to do a boyfriend does my makeup challenge on YouTube, which is what, you know, the social media stars of tomorrow need to think about. So Harry says agreed, or you could be another Jason Nash, LOL. That's true. I could. I mean, I'm married, so I couldn't do the Jason Nash start dating Trish Paytas thing. But yeah, that's true. I'm too hard. I guess this is another thing that I've got to get over in my own head is I still think of Nathan J says, nice hoodie. That's true. Bells represent Kalamazoo, Michigan Brewery. Yeah, if you're looking to be a social media star at my age, it's becoming more of a viable option. It's just you have to focus a little bit more on, like, Jason Nash has to work twice as hard to be relevant to the kids. It's the same way, but then again, you see Will Smith doing it, you see The Rock doing it. I think that if you skewing content really well that's not Steve Buscemi holding the skateboard saying, hey kids, then you can do it. It's just a completely it's a bigger jump, right? Athena and Nora, thank you for following on Mixer. I appreciate it. So yeah, if you have any other social media questions, let me know. I'm going to start doing these every Friday with 5 new questions. So feel free to tweet at me at PhilRanta. Find me on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/PhilRanta. I'm Phil Ranta on all the social media sites. But make sure to follow me on LinkedIn. I'm posting there all the time. I will also post this video over there. So make sure to keep following. Thank you so much for watching the stream today. I appreciate it. Make sure to send a like, share the video if you think it's cool, and I'll see you next time.